At 06:14 a.m., radar screens light up across the base. 1,000 signatures appear simultaneously. They move at 180 miles per hour. Distance, 42 miles out. Time to impact, 14 minutes. The Air Defense Commander stares at the display. His systems were built for aircraft, built for missiles. Not for this, not for a swarm that turns the sky black. Combat Power analyzes what happens when quantity becomes its own weapon. The drones cost $50,000 each. Total investment, $50 million. The base they target holds equipment worth $9 billion. 3 runways, 40 aircraft, 200 ground vehicles, 5,000 personnel. The math is brutal. Each interceptor missile costs $4 million. The base has 96 missiles ready. Even if every shot hits, the swarm wins. The commander knows this. His radar operator knows this. Everyone in the command center knows this. The enemy planned it perfectly. They studied the defense. They counted the interceptors. They added a safety margin. Then they launched exactly 1,000 drones. The first wave crosses the 30-mile mark. Automatic tracking systems assign targets. Computers calculate intercept points. Fire control radars lock on. But the system struggles. It was designed for 20 targets, maybe 40 in extreme scenarios, not 1,000. The processing units overheat. Screens flicker. Target priorities shift every 2 seconds. The commander makes his first decision. Shoot the closest threats. Ignore the rest. Hope they miss. At 06:17 a.m., the first interceptors launch. Vertical tubes erupt with flame. Missiles streak upward at Mach 3.5. They reach the leading drones in 18 seconds. Explosions bloom across the sky. 16 drones disintegrate. The commander watches the count. 1,000 becomes 984. Another salvo launches. 24 missiles. Each one tracks perfectly. Each one hits. The count drops to 960. Which force breaks first? A. Air defense systems. B. The drone swarm. C. Command network. The drones adjust formation. They spread wider. 300 feet between each unit. This forces defenders to use 1 missile per drone. No splash damage, no bonus kills, just 1 for 1. The tactical advantage shifts. At 06:19 a.m., half the interceptors are gone. 48 missiles fired. 48 drones destroyed. 912 remain. Distance, 18 miles. Time to impact, 6 minutes. The commander requests permission to abandon the base. Permission denied. New orders arrive. Hold position. Protect the aircraft. The aircraft represent years of training. Billions in development. Strategic capability that cannot be replaced in months. The commander understands. He also understands they will all die. Combat Power breaks down scenarios where orders conflict with survival. The second battery opens fire. These missiles are older. Success rate, 78%. 20 missiles launch. 15 drones fall. The count becomes 897. Another volley. 14 hits. 883 drones still inbound. The base has 18 interceptors remaining. Basic arithmetic tells the story. 18 missiles cannot stop 883 drones. The commander switches tactics. He orders all remaining missiles to target the densest cluster. If they cannot stop the swarm, they can thin it, redirect it, make it less effective. What happens next changes everything. At 06:22 a.m., the final interceptors streak into the sky. They target a group of 60 drones approaching from the northeast. The missiles detonate in a pattern, overlapping blast waves, shrapnel clouds 300 feet wide. 47 drones tumble from the sky. The remaining 13 adjust course. They merge with another group. The swarm continues. 836 drones at 15 miles out. No interceptors remain. The base switches to close-range defense. 20mm cannons spin up. Each gun fires 4,000 rounds per minute. Effective range, 2 miles. The gunners know the math. Even with perfect accuracy, they cannot stop them all. Combat power examines the moment when conventional defense fails. The operations officer suggests evacuation. The commander refuses. Evacuating now means losing everything: the aircraft, the fuel depots, the ammunition bunkers. 5 minutes remain. He orders all personnel into hardened shelters. He orders the gun crews to stay at their posts. He orders damage control teams to pre-position near critical assets. Then he makes a call that changes the engagement. He requests an airstrike on his own position, not on the base itself, on the approaching swarm. 4 fighters scramble from an adjacent airfield. They carry air-to-air missiles designed for dogfights, not for drones. But missiles do not care about the target's size, only its heat signature. The fighters arrive at 6:25 a.m. They are 60 miles out. The drones are 8 miles from the base. The fighters go supersonic, Mach 1.4. They close at 1,050 miles per hour. Each fighter carries 6 missiles, 24 total shots. The lead pilot achieves lock. He ripple fires all 6 missiles in 4 seconds. The weapons streak toward the swarm at Mach 4. They impact in clusters. 19 drones destroyed. The second fighter fires. 17 more fall. The third fighter engages. 21 drones gone. The fourth fighter empties his rails. 18 drones tumble. 70 drones destroyed. 761 remain. Distance, 4 miles. Time to impact, 80 seconds. The fighters break off. They are Winchester. No ammunition left. They climb to 15,000 feet and watch. Combat power reveals that even maximum effort sometimes is not enough. At 06:26 a.m., the close-range guns open fire. Tracer rounds light up the dawn sky. Each gun tracks independently. Computers calculate lead angles. Barrels swing in smooth arcs. The first drones enter range. Gunfire shreds them. 10 fall, 20, 40. The guns burn through ammunition at terrifying speed. Barrels glow red. Cooling systems struggle. 1 gun jams, then another. 7 guns remain operational. They fire continuously. Drones fall like rain, but 700 is too many. At 06:27 a.m., the first drone impacts. It hits a fuel truck near runway 2. The explosion sends a fireball 200 feet high. 3 seconds later, 12 more drones strike. Hangars collapse. A control tower disintegrates. Aircraft on the flight line erupt in flames. The drones do not stop. They crash in waves. Some carry high explosives. Some carry incendiaries. Some simply use kinetic energy. 500 pounds of metal and fuel at 180 miles per hour is enough to destroy most structures. Combat power shows that overwhelming numbers create their own form of precision. The base's automatic fire suppression systems activate. Foam covers the runway. Water cannons spray burning aircraft. None of it matters. Drones hit the command center. They hit the barracks. They hit ammunition storage. Secondary explosions rock the facility. Some drones miss their targets. They crater empty ground, hit perimeter fences, destroy parked trucks. But 637 drones hit something valuable. The mathematics of saturation warfare prove accurate. At 06:29 a.m., the attack ends. 124 drones were destroyed in flight. 876 reached the base. The facility burns. All 3 runways are cratered. 32 aircraft are destroyed. 15 more are damaged. 2 hangars collapsed. The command center lost power. Fuel depots burn. Ammunition continues to explode. Casualty count: 47 dead, 119 wounded. The base's combat ineffective. It will not launch aircraft for 6 weeks, maybe 8. Necessary defense or catastrophic vulnerability? The enemy achieved their objective. $50 million in drones removed $9 billion in capability. The exchange rate favors the attacker. This scenario demonstrates a fundamental shift in warfare. Cheap precision weapons in massive numbers defeat expensive defense systems. Combat Power analyzes why traditional air defense doctrine is failing. The answer involves economics and mathematics. A drone swarm costs less than the missiles used to stop it. If defenders shoot, they bankrupt themselves. If they do not shoot, they lose the base. The enemy understands this paradox. They exploit it. Modern defense systems were built for Cold War threats. Bombers, cruise missiles, ballistic weapons, each one expensive, each one precious. Doctrine assumed quality over quantity. That assumption is now a liability. How many interceptors can one destroyer launch simultaneously? A, 24. B, 96. C, over 200. The correct answer is B. Modern destroyers carry 96 vertical launch cells. Each cell holds one missile. A fully loaded destroyer can engage 96 targets. Against 1,000 drones, it exhausts its magazine and stops less than 10% of the threat. This is the new reality of combat power. After the attack, analysts study the wreckage. They find commercial components, GPS modules, cell phone processors, camera sensors. Nothing exotic, nothing that requires advanced manufacturing. The drones use technology available to anyone. This concerns planners more than the attack itself. If one enemy can build 1,000 drones, others can build 10,000 or 100,000. Defense budgets cannot scale to match. The cost curve favors offense. Combat Power examines what this means for future conflict. Some nations respond by developing directed energy weapons, lasers that shoot at the speed of light, microwaves that fry electronics. These systems promise unlimited magazines. Each shot costs only electricity, but they face problems: power generation, cooling requirements, atmospheric interference. They are not ready. Not yet. Others develop electronic warfare systems, jammers that disrupt drone control, signals that spoof GPS, cyber attacks that corrupt navigation. These show promise. But drones adapt. They use inertial guidance. They operate autonomously. They communicate through encrypted mesh networks. The technological race continues. Combat Power tracks who is winning. Currently, offense maintains the advantage. The military base in this scenario eventually rebuilds. New systems are installed: drone-specific defenses, additional gun systems, electronic warfare suites, mobile interceptor units positioned in depth. The redesign costs $3 billion. It takes 9 months. During that time, the base remains vulnerable. The enemy could strike again. They choose not to. The first attack achieved its purpose. It demonstrated capability. It imposed costs. It changed calculations. Combat Power shows that sometimes one strike reshapes entire strategies. If Combat Power decides wars, type Combat Power. The lesson from this scenario is clear. Quantity has a quality all its own. 1,000 cheap weapons can overwhelm a dozen expensive defenses. This principle applies across domains: naval warfare, ground combat, cyber operations. The side that generates more combat power at the decisive point wins. The definition of combat power is changing. It is no longer just firepower and armor. It includes cost efficiency, production capacity, technological adaptability, the ability to absorb losses and continue fighting. What would you order next? Defense planners face hard choices. Invest in more interceptors and accept budget constraints elsewhere. Develop new technologies and accept delays. Change doctrine and accept operational risk. Or acknowledge that some attacks cannot be stopped and focus on resilience. The answer determines survival in modern warfare. Combat Power reveals these calculations without ideology or politics. Only numbers, only outcomes, only the raw mathematics of conflict. The drone swarm scenario represents current reality. Similar attacks have occurred. Smaller scales, different targets, same principles. The technology exists. The tactics are proven. The economic advantage is clear. What prevents widespread adoption is political will and international norms. Both are fragile constraints. This scenario will repeat, maybe next month, maybe next year. Combat power will analyze what happens. Quiz answer. B. A destroyer can launch 96 missiles simultaneously. Against a 1,000-drone swarm, it stops less than 10% before going Winchester. This is why saturation tactics work. This is why defense is failing. This is why combat power matters. Consider these questions. Can traditional air defense survive the drone age? Should militaries prioritize quantity over quality? What happens when every nation can afford swarm technology? These questions do not have easy answers. They require serious analysis. They demand understanding of both technology and strategy. Combat Power provides that understanding. Subscribe to Combat Power, where raw force decides survival. No mercy, no pause. Only the calculations that determine who stands and who falls when the swarm arrives.